What's up, y'all? It's Saturday. How you guys doing? So this is a working artist vlog. I just did my half an hour of making comics, and that was fun. Got some flatting done and stuff. Almost done flatting this next page. Let's see if I could show you. So I got that all going. This panel still needs to be finished being flatted, and then I can move on to colors. I'll probably work on that tomorrow. So yeah. So today I wanted to talk about basically, I feel like in a lot of ways I'm becoming an adult at 40. Which is weird. I mean, it's not like I haven't been very much doing responsibilities and being an adult. For sure I have, for my whole adult life, really. But it's interesting, you know, adulting is interesting. Even though, you know, you technically become an adult, it seems like you grow more and more into it gradually, generally. At least that's how it's been for me. And you know, there's certain things you kind of, certain responsibilities and stuff you kind of you hesitate to get into. Maybe it's stuff you aren't ready to do yet, or, you know, you're just not disciplined, or you're just not ready to tackle yet. And, you know, unfortunately, there's some things I've put off that I've wanted to do for a while. And I should have done early on, but you know, you don't think about the long game when you're young. Sometimes you just think about kind of what's next, what you're trying to do now. And I was always focused on my art, my projects, my music, whatever it was that I was doing. And, you know, but it wasn't focus. It was like, you know, kind of, I knew in general I wanted to do creative things, and every time I came across a creative thing, I wanted to take part in it. But that wasn't really leading anywhere, except for me learning a lot of things, learning what I do want to do and what I don't want to do. But, you know, there's certain things like saving money, looking for a better job, or, you know, just different things. And even like investing and stuff, and trying to do just kind of setting up your life stuff, which I've done plenty of that for sure, but some of those things I haven't done at all. But you know, I don't know, I just feel like I'm at a place now. I feel like being 40 years old, you know, February is my birthday, so, you know, we're coming in on 41 pretty soon. But when I hit that number, I feel like, okay, this is the time, you know, like, I should have been doing some things already, and if I don't do them now, I'm kind of screwing myself over. If I don't get books done, you know, whatever it is, even with creative stuff and then with responsibility stuff. And it just, a lot of things have kind of converged onto this kind of moment of this year, for me. And, you know, I'm trying to move forward and learn some things. I've been saving some money and stuff, trying to do that, you know, just trying to be more responsible with that. Also, I've been, you know, I've been getting into, if you guys never heard, you probably have, but the Dave Ramsey, he's a Christian, like, finance guy, but, you know, he really just helps anybody. It doesn't matter if it's Christian. He has like a radio show, and he talks about getting out of debt, saving money, and investing it, you know, and setting yourself up so you're not like, you don't come to the end of your life, or not the end of your life, but your later years, and you're out of money and you can't work as well as you used to be able to. Like, a lot of people are headed for some pretty rough times, you know, in their later years. And I don't want to be in that situation, but I haven't done much to prepare for it, until recently, you know, and I'm trying to prepare better. So I really like Dave Ramsey's stuff. I heard about it years ago, and knew it was like a really good plan, but, you know, for some reason I didn't latch on to it then. I just had so much stuff, like, You guys know I've talked about my wife and her problem with chronic pain, and it's been a struggle for many, many, many years. And so, it's time to get my ducks in order, though, with that kind of stuff, with the money stuff. And so my wife and I are tackling it. We're teaming up on our finances and trying to do better. Um, and also, another thing that's really interesting and I think is going to be helpful for the future is this idea of like minimalism. And like even my studio, I've done it, and like recently, like my wife has had some issues with dust, and she's like allergic to dust, so we really went through and cleaned the whole apartment like as much as we could. And we got rid of a ton of stuff. I got rid of a ton of art supplies. And my studio for a while though has already been somewhat decluttered. It basically, the basic core of it consists of my laptop and my tablet, and I can still do traditional art if I want, but I'll take that out if I need it. Or and I've gotten rid of like a lot of painting stuff and brushes and just stuff that I never do. I primarily, if I'm going to do art, it's going to be pencil, ink, and that's about it. So all I need is some of that stuff, and I don't need as much of it as I've had. So I still have a lot to do with decluttering. You could see, like, I got some comics going on there. I got many boxes of comics, and I think I might go through them and try to reduce all my comics down to maybe one long box or something. Even though a lot of them, I feel like if I go through them, I'll want to keep all of them, but I'm gonna try to see if I can figure out a way to get rid of all of them. All these books, there's tons of books. There's all kinds of stuff in the house. There's DVDs over there, and I do like having art and paintings and stuff on the wall. I don't want to be like a strict minimalist where it's like everything in my house is like gray and white and it's when you come in, it sounds like you hear your voice echoing off the walls. Like, that's not appealing to me, but that level of declutteredness and cleanliness is appealing to me. So in my own way, I do want it to be warm, and have like, nice things, but I want to get rid of things that are not needed, and so we're both on board. My wife and I are both on board with that kind of idea, and we're gonna work towards more of a minimalist approach, I think, and that will also help with money and saving money and not spending too much and stuff like that, and just keep only the things that you really need and want, and use all the time. Like, one thing, I was watching a video this morning, and they were talking about, like, you go into your kitchen and you might have like three, four, five different appliances to heat up food and drinks. And it's like, you have an oven, all you really need is the oven and stove. Why do you have all of those things? Of course they do specialty things. The toaster does what it does, and the coffee makers and the tea things and all that stuff, and I have a crock pot and whatever, but I don't use the crock pot that much, and I should at least, if I'm going to use it from time to time, at least keep it somewhere, and then take it out when I use it. It's been on the counter for months and months and months and months, like maybe close to a year, and I haven't even used it. I would like to use it more though. So it is, I think, useful, but it's like, why do I have all that stuff on my counters? I only use the toaster, some people use it every day. It depends. There's been times I've used it a lot, but lately, I don't even have bread in the house that much. So I only use the toaster like once every 3 months, maybe. Why do I have a toaster on my counter? Things like that. So, I don't know. I'm just really interested in this, and like DVDs, like, is there a way, I could maybe take all the DVDs, cases, and just take all the DVDs out, put it in a DVD folder thing, and get rid of the cases, and, now shelves worth of things will be decluttered down to just one little case, you know. Why do I have all this stuff laying around collecting dust? You know, it doesn't make sense. Or maybe I could digitize some of these things, you know. So I don't know. There's so many things, especially with digital now. You can do that. And I know this isn't comics, but you know, this is the kind of thing. Actually, Kevin Cross started the 100 Days of Making Comics. Really, kind of introduced me to thinking about looking into minimalism and stuff. I hadn't really thought seriously about it until then, and I don't know how far he's gotten on his minimalism journey. Um, but you know, I just don't know. But I'm starting to look into it myself, and you know, I'm really every time I get rid of stuff and the whole area is less cluttered, I just feel so much better. You know, I just feel like mentally clearer, more clarity, and you know, just more peace, I guess. You know, I don't want to get to the point where I have nothing or whatever. I don't want to go to like a crazy extreme, because I don't know. You know, I mean, I don't think it's crazy. Even if you do go to an extreme like that, it's just everybody's just got a different level of amount they want to do things. So, anyways, just some thoughts. I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm moving towards these days, and I'm doing a lot. Like the last, you know, couple weeks, you know, I've been kind of doing the minimum of my comics. Not because I'm not passionate. I mean, I have had times where I was doing extra, you know, in the last couple weeks, but I've been spending a lot of time looking into the adulting things, you know, the money stuff, um, the minimalism stuff, anything that could help enhance our life and, you know, just fix things that are kind of wonky or whatever, you know. So, you know, and I'm excited because I think that that'll help us be in a better place in the future, you know. So yeah, I don't know, just some thoughts. I know it's not 100% comic related, but it does free my mind up and help me. Like when I have some of those things in order, I feel like I don't have that stuff in the back of my head as much while I'm trying to make comics, and I'm like, should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? Well, it can free me up and I can be more focused and do better work, you know. I think if I'm not kind of jaded by all that background noise, you know what I mean? Also, something I want to look into is kind of minimalizing with social media and just the activity I do on my phone. And that's going to be a tough one because I like to create a lot of content. And you know, when I'm on social media, I do consume some. I probably consume too much though. But I'm not crazy with consuming. I'm more on the side of creating usually. I think, oh, maybe if I would really were to really analyze it, maybe I consume more than I create. I don't know. That would be interesting to track and measure. But you know, I want to be more creating content, and I don't know. I feel like my activity on my phone and social media, like I don't want to be a ghost town. I still want to communicate and connect with you guys for sure. Like that's a huge part, an important part of my life. I don't ever want to get rid of that. I have so many awesome relationships now that I never had before because you guys are awesome, and because you know I've reached out on the internet and had real conversations and back and forth, even with comments and little things. I feel like I have a community and I'm in part of a community, and that's awesome. But maybe it'd be cool to do more community events, like you know, YouTube events, or you know, comic conventions, and actually meet face to face with some people. That would be cool. You know, maybe one day I'll be in a place where I can do more traveling. That would be great to get to meet people and stuff and friends. And I'd rather be doing that than spending my time glued to my phone constantly. Like I want to do that too a little bit, but like it does feel like it's unhealthy sometimes. So yeah, I'm just thinking a lot about like like rethinking all these little things in life. You know what I mean? And trying to do better with it. So yeah, I don't know. Another part of adulting that I forgot to mention was I think I mentioned diet a little bit, but health. I think I need to get a little bit of better handle of the food situation. We were doing pretty good at different times. We were doing kind of the vegan thing or semi-vegan thing for a while, and then we kind of stopped doing that. I was trying to do the keto thing for a little while, and then I decided I didn't want to do that. And now, because I don't have a plan of what I want to do with eating, we haven't been doing so good. We've been eating out more than we should, and I mean, I've been still cooking a lot, but it's not focused on trying to make good, healthy meals as much as just have meals to make, for dinner. I'd like to figure out a better lunch solution because, it's a lot of carbs pretty much that I eat. And I want to get away from carbs, and I'm probably eating more carbs now than I have in a while, before I really knew anything about carbs. So I would like to get away from so many carbs. I don't know. I feel like going back to some semi-vegan type of thing might be good. I still got to look into it, but I do want to do better with that because I think health is. I think our diet is literally the most important aspect to good health, and living a long, thriving life, not just a life of not just kind of getting by and then having health problems in the future. I want to avoid that, and you can actually reverse your health problems by getting into a good diet. Sometimes, a lot of times, that's usually diet. I think is at the root of a lot of health problems. Probably not all of them, but a lot of them. And then also exercising. That's something I've never spent a lot of time doing outside of playing sports when I was a kid. And I mean, I've always had a physically active job, so that kind of helps for me. I'm also tall, so when I do gain weight, it hides pretty well, which I don't know if that's a good thing or not, to be honest. So I'm probably at the heaviest I've ever been now. I think, I don't know, I'm about 271. But I need to do more cardio because it's like I do a physically not intense, but like a somewhat physically demanding job. But it's not cardio, I'm not actually getting my heart rate up as much as just lifting heavy things and walking a lot and stuff like that. But there's times where I'm driving a lot, so then I'm not as physically active, so it's kind of not the ideal physical activity. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when I'll get to the point where I'm gonna do some running or something, but that needs to become part of my life at some point. I'd love if I could just play basketball every day or something with some friends or something, but I've never been in a situation where that's really something I can do on a reliable basis. And plus, I probably want to exercise with my wife when we do it, so, I don't know. We're not going to be playing basketball. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But that's another part of adulting that I'm trying to, I want to get into, I want to get back to some of these fundamental things. So yeah,